Ferrari's Flic module, the FTM that is internally dubbed, has gotten a lot of buzz up and down the paddock ever since it was first seen in 2026. So much so that the majority of the teams in Miami bought their own iteration of it. And as such, Ferrari now are going to be introducing their next iteration in Barcelona. And this is being dubbed as an even more extreme and sophisticated version than the one we've seen in Miami. This comes on the back of the FIA looking to actually outlaw this aerodynamic device for 2027. This comes on the back of the issues they've had with the power unit and the energy side of things in terms of the actual split, the 50-50 split. And if that is actually the case and turns out to be true, Ferrari will lose around half a second in lap time. So it's no wonder Ferrari want to go full guns blazing and develop the most sophisticated version of their FTM they can do. And they do have an everlasting advantage for this season with their one. And that is because it was completely integrated within the overall design philosophy of their SF-26. Unlike all of the other teams up and down the field. And this is all thanks to the engine architecture that they designed and created for their 26 engine. They made compromises in certain parameters and aspects in an attempt, and a successful one at that, to introduce this aerodynamic device, which is very much unique to these cars. And in Ferrari's case, it is very much integrated in a level that no other team will be able to do for this season. So it is imperative they take full use of it while it's available to be used illegally on the car. And now we've seen many versions of it ever since pre-season testing and it was first spotted. Just have a look on the screen right now. You can see the various designs that we've had thus far from Ferrari. And I think we're going to see a level of advancement in this area, and it's going to get crazy with what they can do, all within this particular kind of parameters where it's around the exhaust tailpipe. This will of course not only be the only upgrade Ferrari are looking to introduce in Barcelona and in prior rounds before we head to Barcelona, even though there's 2 races. They're also looking to introduce a new front wing, an area Ferrari are very aware of that they have a huge kind of deficit in regards to their competitions. If we look at McLaren's, if we look at Red Bull's ring, and we look at Mercedes, the sophistication in comparison to Ferrari is lacking on Ferrari's behalf. That is plainly clear for all to see if you just do a comparison look between all of the designs. And the design department in Ferrari at Maranello are hard at work on a new iteration of front wing which looks to be heading for Canada the next round in the 26 season. All of these upgrades are going to continuously have a knock-on effect for how advanced Ferrari can get in terms of their aerodynamic kind of philosophy and designs for the car. This is of course with an eye to future engine upgrades thanks to the ADUO token system in 26 when they introduce the next specification of their 26 engine in Spa. And Spa is the point in which Ferrari are pinpointing, hoping to become competitive enough to challenge Mercedes and McLaren and whoever else is at the forefront of the field for podiums on a regular basis, fastest laps, but more importantly than that, pole positions and race victories. And if they're still within touching distance of a Constructors or Drivers' World Championship at that point, that could be potentially on the cards as well. But that is something no one can see. We don't have a crystal ball, and it is quite a way far off into the future, and so much can and will happen in this time. For example, Mercedes, the leaders in 26, have not introduced a substantial upgrade as of yet onto their W17. Last time out, we saw major upgrade packages in Miami for not only Ferrari, but also for Red Bull and McLaren. And even with those major upgrades, which brought a huge heap of lap time for all of those teams, Mercedes was still able to win the main race come Sunday. And that spells trouble for the majority, if not all, of the 26 grid, particularly with an eye on Canada when they will introduce their first major upgrade package, which will have a whole raft of upgrades to all the key areas and components of these 26 cars. We're talking front wings, we're talking side pod region, we're talking wakeboards, we're talking, of course, the bodywork from the engine aspect, and maybe even further changes to their small iteration of Ferrari's FTM. And that upgrade package is looking to bring them between 2 and 5/10 of a second of lap time, and that would put them well and truly out of harm's reach for any of the other teams, bar any kind of engine or software gremlins in a race. So that is why Ferrari are tinkering, and they're kind of sitting on this precipice where they are very, very close to having all of the tools and ingredients needed to surmount and maintain a challenge for pole positions and victories. But it comes at a cost of whether their opposition, something they cannot influence in any way, gets a lead and continues to keep a lead in terms of aero device upgrades. And that's why Ferrari have what I consider to be quite an important section of the 26 season just around the corner. How do they juggle expectations and delivery of upgrades when they know the main issue comes from the engine and the compromises that they made? Will they have enough championship points left for them to surmount a challenge if they find themselves in the same position come the end of the season where they're just tens of points behind, if not hundreds? That's the challenge Ferrari truly face in 2026, alongside juggling designs for 27 and expectations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the video. Hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, do leave a like on the video here on F1 Tech Unraveled. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below and join us here on the channel for deep dives on all the Formula 1 upgrades teams bring, as well as deep dives into driving styles from the drivers past, present, and potentially even future drivers. Right, enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you on the Formula 1 video shortly. Catch you later.